Hello, and welcome to Mr. Hart's Piano Lessons for Scrubs. By request of Ruth.
Hi Ruth.
I am making a few videos teaching some basic piano techniques that should help with being able to play better in general. Ruth wants to learn or be able to play improvised melodies over left-hand chords, but learning scales and later arpeggios are the basics for basically all piano playing. There is a lot more to piano than scales and arpeggios, but it is frankly the best place to start. And I'm going to start with the scale of C. First of all, in the right hand. I'm going to start with just the notes in one octave. First of all, with the right hand, as I said. That is the scale of C. The important thing to note, really, is not only the notes. We're starting out with C because they're just the white notes. It's not actually the most easy scale to play, in my opinion, but it's the simplest to identify. All the white notes starting on C. The important thing to notice, though, is what happens here. I turn under my middle finger with my thumb. That's the first finger turning under the third finger. You can tell me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The reason why that happens is so that I can reach the rest of the notes in the scale. And I turn back under because, obviously, unless I just sort of hop down, there is no way to reach the other notes. You only have 5 fingers and you have this whole keyboard to play with. And the important thing that scales teach you in terms of technique is how to reposition your hand to continue playing smoothly. So the end goal with playing these scales that I'll be teaching you is to be able to play them with regular length notes being played and with a smooth transition between each of the notes, including the thumb under third finger turn. I'm going to try and demonstrate that clearer because I realise it's not terribly clear on the camera with my hands in the position that they are. I'm going to tuck my fingers out of the way and you can see my thumb coming under there. And again, the thumb's just tucked under there. Your hand is slowly moving left and right. It's not a big movement. But at first, you may need to do that. You may need to have a big, exaggerated, almost bringing your whole wrist up to get the thumb under there. But as you continue practicing, moving the middle finger over the thumb and the thumb under the middle finger, it'll get smoother and faster. It's important to start slow. Depending on where you're at, that may be impossible for you. But you don't want to be practicing fast and badly, because it's completely useless when you're trying to play a melody. There are regular rhythms to melodies, and you need to be able to control your fingers at a certain pace and to do certain rhythms. So if you start out as slowly as need be to get the notes regular and the turn smooth. And that's it. That's all you really want to practice for the first session with the right hand. We also want to do this with the left hand though, because you play piano with both hands at once. It's basically the same, but a mirror image. You still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but because we always play up and back down, you start out with the middle finger on this C, this lower C. And it's basically the same principle, but when you get to this point, you turn over with the middle finger first, and then back down. The reason being because your 5 fingers are placed here. We don't do that with the right hand because that thumb under middle finger is a much more awkward turn. You always try to use that turn, or later on we'll establish you sometimes want a 4-finger turn, but the little finger going under the thumb is very rare because it's very bad technique. And so wherever possible, you want to be getting the thumb under the middle finger, or the middle finger over the thumb. And it's demonstrated by the left hand. We get to this point, we turn over with the middle finger, and back under with the thumb. Again, practice it as slowly as need be. And then as you practice and find it easier, try it a little faster. Probably not that fast. That's all you need to do for this week, because that's the start to scales. Next week we're going to do... Did I just say week? Man, I have got high hopes for this if I think I can do this from week to week. Next session, we're going to be doing a few more scales and also trying scales hands together, because, you know, you play the piano hands together. You're not always going to be able to do it one at a time. You can have a go at throwing them together beforehand if you want, especially if this is nothing new to you. But it is a different... It's coordination as well as just simple motor control at that point. And if it's not something you're familiar with, getting those turns at the right point takes a lot of practice, because you still need to do them. And it's just a matter of being very slow and painstaking with it again until it's muscle memory. Unfortunately, that is the case with most of learning piano. So I hope you're in it for the long run. I hope this was helpful and not too long. If it was, I apologise, and I'll do better next time. Love to all, especially Ruth, and stick around.